Hey everybody, Jeremy here. So today I'm going to be taking a look at the McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse Batman from DC Future State. This particular Batman is not Bruce Wayne. He is instead Timothy Fox, the son of Lucius Fox, who took over the mantle of Batman in the DC Future State storyline. So if you want to pick up this figure as of right now, it's early March. The easiest way to find him is going to be at Walmart inside of a shipper for the movie The Batman. It's right by the toy aisle, and on that shipper you're going to find a bunch of different figures, including this guy here. So this is a standalone figure, doesn't come with any Build-A-Figure pieces, anything like that, but this definitely was a figure that I had my eye on ever since his existence was leaked a while back. Alright, so I'm going to cut open this tape. Let's look at him. Now, for this particular type of Batman, as far as a figure goes, it doesn't stand out to me as being one of the best Batman that McFarlane Toys has ever done. It's also not the worst. If you didn't know who was under him, who was under the mask, you would just think that it was a regular typical Batman. There are some things that definitely stand out from the Bruce Wayne that we know. One of the things here is the bat symbol. You can see that there is some gold underneath the bat symbol and kind of around the bat symbol, so that's quite different. And also, when you look at the cowl, it covers his complete face and not just most of the face, not just from basically the nose down, it's the entire face. And he sort of reminds me of Murder Machine. So if you remember when McFarlane did a Murder Machine Batman, it kind of reminds me of that a little bit, just less, you know, robotic. But with that being said, there are some details in the costume that I do like. If you look really closely on the lighter parts, the gray over here and down on the legs, you see that there are some very deliberate scratches in the costume. So it definitely looks like it's combat worn. It doesn't look like he just got it freshly made and he's ready to go out there and kick some butt. It looks like he's actually been through some stuff. And then there are little wrinkles that you can see like right there on the legs. So they definitely cut in some more detail there just to give him some more dimensions, if you will. I turn him over, you can look at the back of his cape. It's a typical McFarlane thing, you know, you got the cape swooshing over to one side. They always do a good job of expressing that kind of motion and then also giving wrinkles inside of the cape. That also brings another dynamic to it, so that's also really great. Typical cape, you already know it. It's that kind of rubbery-ish material. It stays the way that it is, you know, it's not free-flowing or anything, you know, it's just how it is. I do like the color of this Batman suit, though. I do think that these colors really complement each other. It's sort of like this, it's not a flat gray, it's almost sort of like a bluish kind of a gray, and I think that goes good with the gold that you can see. He has a gold batarang and then the little trims of gold around the bat symbol. I think that looks really, I think it looks good. Looks good. It's a nice choice of colors that DC designed this Batman with. Now for the articulation. Now I gotta tell you, so here are these little shoulder pad kind of things here, and because these shoulder pads are here, you have to pick your battles in a way. If you want to get his arms to move up, you have to do it in a way so that those shoulder pads don't basically get caught and interfere. So you have to sort of move it up and then out a bit so that you can do this. But then something that I experienced on both of these arms, especially when I was trying to get a good angle on them, is I was pushing them back a little bit too far, and I ended up popping the arms off on both sides. But when the arms pop off, you know, they're ball joints. I just socket them right back in. It's really no big deal. But until you kind of become familiar with the way that it works, I think you might try to operate it like you would any other arms on an action figure, and you'll try to force it a little bit, and you'll end up popping an arm off. So that's what I did. So, you know, really you just have to kind of make sure that these pieces here are going to be lining up in a way so that they don't get in the way. So we take the batarang off. You can see if I try to move the arm up from right here, it's not gonna work. I'm gonna pop the arm off if I force it. So I kind of got to go up and around a bit. There we go, until I can kind of, you know, get that sweet spot. and then I'll be able to do it. You know, otherwise this little part right here is going to start to get caught like in the joints and whatnot, and you just gotta kind of free that up. So that's just something I think that you should be aware of. You'll have a little bit more to fiddle around with if you want his arm to get in certain positions. All right, so for the elbow, you have a very nice elbow bend, one that can move completely across the chest. As you know, that's something that I enjoy. I like it when figures can get their hands across their chest. It just gives you some more options for your poses and whatnot. So you can do that with him. You got some rotation there at the waist. Pretty easy, actually. My experience with some McFarlane toys lately is that that rotation right there at the waist tends to be a little bit tight, but this one is not. But it's not too loose either, so you can definitely do that. Not really doing much as far as back and forth motion, but definitely side to side. And then as for the head, not too crazy, but you know, it's a fairly decent looking up. And then looking down, not too shabby, you know, but definitely not the best. Moving the legs apart, again, kind of the same thing. It's not the furthest that we've ever seen, but it's okay. But one of the things that all these figures tend to have is a really good knee bend, really nice and far. So that's as far as you can get those legs to bend, which is good for Batman. You know, that's a good Batman leg bend, I think, at the knee. No rotation, so there's no cuts on the leg, there's no cuts at the boot, so you can't rotate those there. But you do have a hinge right there at the foot, and then you got the ankle rotation. And that is pretty much it, you know, and it's the same thing on the other leg as it should be. So yeah. I might be having a bad day, but he's been a little bit difficult to stand up. I got him on the stand right now, but even on the stand, he's been a little bit of a struggle. It might just be me, but you know, I still feel like I need to say that. But another thing that I did notice is that even when his footing is a little bit unsure, this cape comes down low enough to just sort of prop him up a bit. So, you know, that might be something that you experience too. The cape may be the thing that, you know, really solidify him to stand him up if his feet don't want to cooperate. And then for your accessories, as you saw in the beginning, you get the gold batarang, which is nice to have. I don't know if we ever gotten a gold batarang before, but if we did, I don't remember, but hey, we got one now. And then you also get a couple of interchangeable hands. He comes with the open hands already on. You also get some fisted hands. I took off one of his hands and put the fisted hand on here. But yeah, those are your options: two open, two fists, or a variation of them both. And then, of course, the black stand. Cool. All right, so that is my review on the Tim Fox Batman from DC Future State. Like I said, he ain't the worst Batman McFarlane Toys ever came out with. You know, he's not my favorite Batman either. To me, it's the man under the mask. That was my driving factor behind getting him. But still, the costume is still, you know, nice. So if you just want to have like an armory of different bat suits and you don't care who wears them, you just like the different styles or whatnot, this is a nice style. I really do like the design of this particular costume and the completely covered face. You know, that's just really cool in my opinion. But yeah, guys, that's it for this figure. Stay tuned for some more reviews, including the Dark Detective Batman. I'm going to start working on that one next. And that one you can also find easily at Walmart inside of the shipper for the Batman, along with a bunch of other figures. So again, thank you so much for watching. Until next time, I'm Jeremy, and I'll talk to you later.